I was really taken in Reimagining Governance by the concept that you don't have to be on the board to be involved in governance. There's a lot of interesting discussion around. We don't need to. How do we move decisions away from the board to have other stakeholders make them? Is one of the ideas in Reimagining Governance, that it's not just about building the perfect board, because it's an illusion to have a perfect board, but you can have better stakeholder voices in your governance, and that's hard, but that can be the goal.
The aha moment was just even more fundamental, that we could do it differently, and really understanding. We did have some detailed discussions about really what must the board do, and I found that to be very interesting, to really break it down into what really needs to happen around that boardroom table with kind of exclusive language. Like they're hard, right? It's hard to break into that process of the current way that most boards are run, and even the language that's used, and the timing and the commitments that's involved. So the thought that we could break it up into bits, and it could be more accessible and more meaningful and done at the right levels, was quite interesting to me.
The biggest thing for me in that sense is to really get yourself out of the thinking that this is the way it is, this is how boards work, this is you need to just continue doing things as they are. Well, you don't. And to be able to have the time and the space to think about things differently, and to really just reimagine how this could work, and how you could bring in other meaningful pieces, and to really make a difference, to really make an impact, that in itself is just wonderful. Right? Because we often don't give ourselves the time and the space to even think about these things. We just keep plodding along, and there's lots of things that have to be done, and you just keep going, right? But so to take that time, I think just stop and think about it. Is there a different way to do this? Is this really getting at what we want to achieve? Is there a better way to do it? And I think that just even asking those questions was absolutely necessary.
I think that is sort of the key, is to decouple board and governance, because I think that's really only the way that you're going to get community involvement that's actually meaningful and not tokenistic. Because you can't have everybody sitting on a board; it won't function that way. So to look at how to get that input in different ways, I think would make it more meaningful to all of the stakeholders that you're trying to involve.